Most people eat sweet potatoes completely wrong, and they have no idea what's actually happening inside their body after they do. Because the truth is this: your body cannot fully digest certain parts of a sweet potato. And surprisingly, that's exactly what can make it so powerful for your gut, your blood sugar, your energy, and even your brain. But here's the part almost nobody knows. There is one simple thing you can do that changes the structure of the sweet potato itself. Not a supplement, not a medicine, not a special diet, just one small preparation method that can completely change how your body responds to it. And once you understand what's happening inside your body, you'll never look at carbohydrates the same way again, because this isn't just about food anymore. This is about your microbiome, your metabolism, your circulation, your inflammation, your focus, your cravings, and even your mood. Let's break this down step by step. When you first cook a sweet potato, heat changes the starch inside it. The starch granules absorb water, they swell, soften, and begin to open up in a process known as gelatinization. That means the carbohydrate becomes easier for your body to digest. And when something becomes easier to digest, your digestive enzymes can rapidly break it down into glucose. That glucose then enters your bloodstream quickly, which can raise blood sugar and trigger a stronger insulin response. Now, that doesn't automatically make sweet potatoes unhealthy, but here's where things get fascinating. If you take that same cooked sweet potato and simply let it cool down completely, especially overnight in the refrigerator, something remarkable starts happening inside the starch itself. The starch molecules begin reorganizing, they tighten, they crystallize, they become more compact, and now your digestive enzymes have a much harder time breaking them apart. This process is called retrogradation, and this changes part of the starch into what's known as resistant starch. In other words, part of the carbohydrate now resists digestion. Your body literally cannot fully break it down. And at first, that might sound bad. But this is exactly where the magic begins. Because what your body doesn't digest, your gut bacteria feed on. Instead of being rapidly absorbed in the small intestine, this resistant starch travels further down into your colon, where trillions of beneficial bacteria begin fermenting it. And during that fermentation process, your microbiome produces powerful compounds called short-chain fatty acids. One of the most important is butyrate, and butyrate is absolutely critical for gut health. In fact, many researchers consider it one of the most beneficial substances your gut bacteria can produce. Why? Because butyrate acts like fuel for the cells lining your intestines. It helps strengthen the intestinal barrier, it helps reduce inflammation inside the digestive tract, and it supports the integrity of your gut wall so unwanted substances are less likely to leak into your bloodstream. That matters more than most people realize. Because when your gut barrier becomes weak or inflamed, it can affect your immune system, your energy, your skin, your metabolism, and even your brain. So now, simply by changing the way you prepare one food, you are supporting a healthier microbiome and creating a stronger internal environment inside the body. But the story doesn't stop there. Now let's talk about your blood sugar and metabolism, because this is where many people begin noticing real changes in how they feel. When resistant starch slows digestion, glucose enters the bloodstream more gradually. Instead of a sharp spike in blood sugar followed by a crash, you get a steadier release of energy. That means insulin doesn't need to surge as aggressively. And when insulin stays more stable, several important things begin happening inside the body. Your energy levels become more consistent. You experience fewer cravings. You avoid those sudden crashes that make people feel exhausted, shaky, or hungry again shortly after eating, and your body becomes less likely to push excess glucose into fat storage. This is one reason resistant starch has gained so much attention in metabolic health research, because it may help improve insulin sensitivity over time. Now think about what that means practically. Imagine eating a carbohydrate, but experiencing steadier energy instead of feeling tired afterward. Imagine feeling satisfied longer. Imagine fewer cravings for sugar and processed snacks later in the day. That's the difference stable blood sugar can make. But there's another connection most people completely overlook and involves your blood vessels. When blood sugar constantly spikes and crashes, it places stress on the vascular system. Over time, that stress can affect circulation and inflammation throughout the body. But when glucose remains more controlled, blood vessels function more efficiently. That means better circulation, better oxygen delivery, and better nutrient flow to tissues throughout the body. And when circulation improves, every organ benefits, including your brain. Now let's talk about the brain, because this is where things become truly fascinating. Your brain is extremely sensitive to blood sugar instability. When glucose levels rise too fast and fall too quickly, many people experience brain fog, fatigue, irritability, difficulty concentrating, and mood fluctuations. But when blood sugar remains more stable, the brain receives a more steady supply of fuel, and that can support clearer thinking, better focus, steadier mood, and more consistent mental energy. But there's something even deeper happening. Remember those short-chain fatty acids produced by your gut bacteria? They don't just stay inside the colon, they communicate with your brain through something called the gut-brain axis. This is the constant communication network between your digestive system and your nervous system, and your gut bacteria influence neurotransmitters connected to mood, behavior, cravings, and emotional balance, including serotonin and dopamine. So now you can begin seeing how everything is connected. Your gut affects your brain, your blood sugar affects your energy, your circulation affects your tissues, your microbiome affects inflammation, and one simple food preparation method can influence all of it together. That's why this is so much bigger than just a sweet potato. It's about understanding physiology. It's about learning how food interacts with your body on a deeper level. Now, here's exactly how to use this strategically. First, cook your sweet potato normally. You can bake it, steam it, or boil it. Then let it cool completely, and ideally refrigerate it overnight. That cooling step is critical because it increases resistant starch through retrogradation. Now, some people ask, what if I reheat it? Interestingly, even after reheating, some of that resistant starch still remains. Next, don't eat huge amounts. You don't need excess. About half of a medium sweet potato with a meal is enough for most people, and always pair it with protein and healthy fats. For example, eggs, fish, chicken, olive oil, avocado, nuts, or seeds. Why? Because protein and healthy fats slow digestion even further and help maintain more stable blood sugar levels. That combination creates a much more balanced metabolic response. And here's another important step most people ignore completely. Move after eating. Even a short walk can make a powerful difference because your muscles contain something called GLUT4 transporters. When you move your body, these transporters help pull glucose out of the bloodstream and into muscle cells where it can be used for energy. So now you're stacking benefits on top of benefits. You're feeding beneficial gut bacteria, supporting your intestinal lining, reducing rapid glucose spikes, helping insulin stay more stable, improving circulation, supporting brain function, and increasing glucose utilization through movement, all from one simple nutritional strategy. And over time, many people notice something remarkable. Their cravings begin decreasing. Their energy becomes steadier throughout the day. They stop feeling heavy and sluggish after meals. Their focus improves. Their digestion feels calmer, and they feel more in control of their eating instead of constantly fighting hunger and fatigue. Not because of a miracle drug, but because they finally started working with the body instead of against it. And that's the key. Real health often comes from understanding simple physiology and using it consistently. Not extremes, not gimmicks, not shortcuts. Small, intelligent habits repeated over time. So the next time you eat a sweet potato, don't just eat it. Use it strategically. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you begin taking control of your health in a completely different way. And that's where real transformation begins. I truly hope this information helps you and your loved ones. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And most importantly, make it a great day.